Hi guys, it's Mrs. Morra again, and we're still reading Romeo and Juliet. We are on scene 3, and we're still in Act 1. This scene has Lady Capulet, who's Juliet's mom. It also has Juliet in it, and it has the nurse. Now, the nurse is a person that raised Juliet. She's not a nurse like a person that takes care of someone sick, but more like a nanny type person, a servant in the household who would have been assigned to Juliet when she was as soon as she was born, and that would be like the nurse, and then who would continue to raise her. Don't forget, we still haven't gone to the party yet, which is going to be held at the Capulet house, and Romeo has not met Juliet yet. Hasn't seen each other. As a matter of fact, Romeo is still in love with Rosalind. So this is a scene with the three ladies, and I'm going to play old English Shakespeare first. Then I'm going to go back and explain. Please make sure you're listening to the videos because they really help you answer the questions and to get an idea of what's happening in the story. So here we go. Act 1, Scene 3.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me. Now, by my maidenhead, a 12-year-old, I bade her come. What lamb? What ladybird? God forbid, where's this girl? Well, Juliet. Hello, who calls? Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou's hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
I'll lay 14 of my teeth. And yet to my teen, be it spoken, I have but 4. She's not 14. How long is it now till Lammas tide?
A fortnight and odd days.
Even or odd of all the days in the year, come Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. But, as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she. Marry, I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake, now 11 years, and she was weaned, I never shall forget it, of all the days of the year, upon that day. For I had then laid wormwood to my dog, sitting in the sun under the dove house wall. My lord and you were then at Mantua, nay, I do bear a brain. But as I said, when it did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dog, and felt it bitter, pretty fool, to see it tetchy and fall out with the dog. Shake, quoth the dove house, 'twas no need, I trow, to bid me trudge, and since that time it is 11 years, for then she could stand high lone. Nay, by the rood, she could have run and waddled all about, for even the day before she broke her brow, and then my husband, God be with his soul, he was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit, wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holodown, the pretty wretch left crying and said, I. To see now how a jest shall come about. I warrant, and I should live 1,000 years, I never should forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel, quoth he, and pretty fool, it stinted, and said, I.
Enough of this, I pray thee, hold thy peace.
Yes, madam, yet I cannot choose but laugh to think it should leave crying and say, I. And yet I warrant it had upon its brow a bump as big as a young cockerel stone.
Okay,
Oh, Pam.
so it's kind of difficult to understand exactly what they're saying. I understand that, but you can kind of read between the lines, I hope, a little bit to figure out what they're going to be talking about. So I want to show you where your assignment is. I posted No Fear Shakespeare right in there. So we're going to take a look and try to figure out what this conversation is about that the nurse and the mom are having. So just bear with me as I switch modes to Act 3. all this talk and they haven't even met yet. So, hope everyone's doing well and paying attention to all this, because it really is a lot of fun. And we will get into the action a little bit more as Romeo and Juliet finally do meet at the party. But it's important not to really skip over any of the scenes, because they all kind of lead up to the suspense of Romeo and Juliet meeting each other. So here we go. So there's what we just kind of listened to, and here's what they were saying. Lady Capulet, nurse with my daughter, tell her to come to me. I swear to you by my virginity, age 12, I already told her to come. Where is she? What's she doing? A typical teenager. Where is she? Juliet, what is it? Who's calling me? Your mother. I'm here. What do you want? I'll tell you what's the matter, nurse. Leave us alone for a little while. We have to talk privately. You know how young my daughter is. They talk about Juliet's age. She's not even 14. She said she's 14. No, she's not 14 yet. And they go back and forth talking about how old Juliet is. Mentions Susan. And she talked about how the nurse actually breastfed Juliet. She was a wet nurse. So don't forget, Juliet's mom is a noble. And the nurse tends to go on and on and on and dither away. And Lady Capulet kind of like has like enough of it. She's like, enough of this. Be quiet. And then she goes on to say, I can't help laughing to think that baby stopped crying. I swear she had a bump on her forehead as big as a rooster's testicle. Yes, I said that. It's a painful bruise, and she was crying bitterly. Yes, said my husband, did you fall on your face? You fall backwards. Now, you stop too, nurse, please. Peace, I'm done talking. May God choose you to receive his grace. You were the prettiest baby I ever nursed. If I live to see you get married someday, all my wishes will be true. Sorry, guys. So, the relationship between the nurse and Juliet is one of they're very tight, and she's looking forward to see her married. And Juliet is going. Juliet's mother is going to tell her about Paris and how he wants to marry her, and they're going to have a discussion about that. So I'm going to play a little bit more of the oldie Shakespeare, and then I'll give you some more explanations.
Let's knock, and it cried bitterly. Yea, quoth my husband, fall'st upon thy face. Thou wilt fall backward when thou comest to age. Wilt thou not jewel it stinted, and say I?
And stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say I.
Oh, peace, I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Marry, is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of.
An honor. Were not I thine only nurse, I would say thou hadst sucked wisdom from thy teeth.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus, then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man, young lady, such a man as all the world. Why, he's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's...
All right, so pretty much they mentioned Paris's name, and apparently Paris is, known around for being very, very handsome. And they compare him to a flower and all these different symbolism things that we will talk about later on. So, Juliet's mom is like, hey, daughter, you're old enough now. What do you think of marriage? This guy, Paris. The nurse apparently approves of him. So let's listen to the rest of this.
A flower, in faith a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris' face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Examine every married lineament, and see how one another lends content. And what obscured in this fair volume lies, find written in the margin of his eyes. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. The